My name's Chelsea Hickman. At BYU, I studied theater arts, but I had a playwriting emphasis and an English minor, and I graduated in 2013. There were lots of ups and downs. Um, mhm. I would say that the first couple of years were a little bit more difficult than the latter years, and I owe a lot of that to my husband, and finding my person to help me through those highs and those lows. But the first couple of years were really hard. Yeah. Mostly just trying to find myself, my own spirituality that was separate from my family, and yeah, and just general being an 18-year-old and not knowing who I am and being grumpy about it. Yeah. Really freeing, but also a lot of work to dismantle what happened and how I got through BYU. Like I said, getting married helped a lot, and having that support from someone that completely accepts me for who I am. And after BYU, my husband left the church like 2 years later, and then and that process was incredibly difficult. Anyway, and it's I just since leaving BYU and thinking back on my husband and me and our relationship with the church, him leaving, and then my own frustrations with do I stay, do I go? And I stayed in the church without him for about 2.5 years. And anyway, and I've been out of the church now for about 2 years. So it's been a long process. Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird. I was on a date with my husband. We were at Outback Steakhouse, and we were sharing a dinner together. It was like for a work promotion thing. And yeah, because I got a promotion at work. Anyway, so we were out celebrating, and I had gone to a theater conference a week before, and there was a girl that I realized I had special feelings for that were not just a spiritual connection. It was something more. And so I was at that theater conference. I had a moment laying in bed at night praying to God, hey, why am I 23? I've been married for 3 years now. Why am I just figuring this out tonight? And yeah, so I waited a week before telling my husband, and I told him at that promotion dinner. And his first response was, I think I knew. And I did not know that was how it was going to go, because I just figured it out myself like a week ago. And so, yeah, like I said, he's just always been the greatest support system. And yeah, so it took me a while to figure it out. But looking back, like as a kid, as like a middle schooler, high schooler, just girls were special to me, and as were boys. But yeah, that's how I figured it out. Mostly just living in a way that is truthful to myself, and forever being kind to others and being kind to myself.
I think
Part of it was family expectation, but also at the time, I wanted to be around people that were like me, and I wanted to know what that bubble felt like in order to feel safe and feel like I belonged. But more than that, I honestly felt like it was an answer to a prayer to go, and that there was some sort of spiritual growth that I needed to go through by being at BYU. So, yeah. Depression, definitely. Yeah, there would be long periods of time, especially my freshman year, where I would just lay in bed and not eat and not talk to my roommates. And in fact, at the end of my first semester, my roommate at the time, she came into the room one Sunday and she said, hey, so I know that you're seeing a bishop currently, and that makes me uncomfortable. Also, there's some sort of darkness about you, and I can't be around it anymore. So, and that was, like 2 weeks before the semester ended. And so those last 2 weeks I was like actually alone, just in my own dorm. And, that sort of experience, when you thought that you could count on people, but then they weren't there for you, it really leaves a lasting impression. And so yeah, I had major depression and terrible anxiety of just always thinking that I'm not good enough and someone else should be here in my place. There were several. So because I did theater arts, I was surrounded by some of the most amazing people all the time. And if I hadn't have had those friendships with my acting friends, my playwriting friends, I don't know how it would have gone. I was very lucky to have incredible professors who had so much empathy and so much love, and being with them helped me find my own love for myself. So, yeah, so those were some pleasant experiences.
Cool.
You are so strong, and you are so loved. And there are people there that just love you, and they want to be there for you. And some advice that I would give: whenever you are ready, you are allowed to reach out, and you are allowed to ask for help. Because that's sometimes the hardest step to take, to accept that you love yourself, and then also ask someone else for help if you feel alone. Because I think that was a lot of my experience at BYU, especially those first 2 years where I was always surrounded by people, but I felt alone. So, yeah, reach out when you need to, because you are so loved and you are so strong.